What's poppin' everyone? SB Philos4 here, back with another BanG Dream video. Today I will be giving you an updated reroll guide for BanG Dream as of the year 2021. It's been a couple years since the last guide, and I just wanted to give you some more information and updates about how to reroll in the game. I'm sure a lot of you are new to the game because maybe a certain shark or Peacock may have been playing this game and you were interested and you came to the right place. I'm getting the best guidance on how you could reroll as efficiently as possible in this game. So yeah, why don't we get started? So this guide will hope to give you an idea of how to reroll quickly and how to reroll fast, and also kind of answer some questions that were previously asked in my previous guide video, so I want to address those as well. So right off the bat, first thing you have to do is skip story, go through the tutorial. Again, you don't necessarily have to name yourself because you just want to save time, right? And even in this tutorial here, with the game tutorial, you don't actually have to play the tutorial. You can just go through it. Yeah, you can just let it play, and then just kind of relax for a bit. Yeah. So I want to answer the question of what exactly is rerolling. So rerolling is the idea of basically starting an account and maybe deleting an account and restarting an account in a gacha game. And the goal of doing that is to try and make sure that basically in your very first pull of gacha, you start off optimally, because at the end of the day, gacha is a sort of lottery system, so it's random on what you get. But obviously, if you want to start off your account or start off the game on a high note, you would want to make sure you start off with the best rarity cards or the best cards possible, so you could start off in the best footing possible. So once you finish the tutorial, you could just follow the arrows here and just kind of go through it. So again, with any story type, what you do is you go to the top right corner and then just kind of skip through the dialogue here. I'm going to go through pretty fast because, I'm pretty proficient in this. So you can just skip, right? And then press OK, go through main story. Oops. Whoa, I hit log by accident. Okay, so, and then from here, this is basically the end of the tutorial. All you have to do is just download some data. So now you have to download either game data or character voice data. So obviously you want to just download the game data because you want to save time and just download less resources. But of course, if this is the account you want, you could always download the character voice data later. So you'll just have to download game data, and then again, this process will depend on your internet speed. My internet speed I would consider to be below average, but I've noticed it takes about anywhere between 4 to 5 minutes. It might take faster if you have a better internet connection. So as it's downloading assets right now, I want to answer some questions that were asked in my previous guide video. So I'm going to address them now so you have an idea of what's going on. Because there are people who are quite new to the gacha game environment and what exactly is a gacha game. So first thing I want to address is, if someone already has a main account in BanG Dream, should they reroll? My question to that is probably not, or sorry, my answer to that is probably not. And the reason why is because you can't necessarily transfer assets from one account to another. So let's say after doing a reroll, you ended up getting a really good card, like a really good 4-star card. Now, you can't just simply grab that 4-star card and plop it into your main account. Rerolling and gacha games don't work like that. So if you already have a main account that you've already put a lot of time and you put a lot of resources in, this guide unfortunately would not be really applicable for you. However, it will be quite applicable for you if you, let's say, have an EN account or worldwide server account like this one, and maybe you want to start a new account in, let's say, the Japanese server, which is the main server, and that's where all the new songs, the new events, and the most up-to-date game assets are in. So if you want to, let's say, start a new account in the JP account, that is perfectly fine. Which leads to the next question. Can this work on all servers? Yes, it will work on all servers. Some servers are a little bit behind, some servers are a little bit ahead of the EN server. But this guide should generally work for all servers. Okay. Now, if you do end up wanting to re-roll, if let's say you have a main account and maybe you want to test the waters and see if you want to re-roll, my suggestion on that is to have multiple devices, either maybe using BlueStacks or having a second device. So I use my main account on my iPad here, but I'm using a different device to do this tutorial. So, having it separate so then you don't really interfere with your main account, I think is probably the best thing. But if you really wanted to, if you only have one device and you really want to reroll on it, I would definitely suggest going through the data transfer option and saving a password for your main account so that you can access at any point if, let's say, you decide to retract and say, okay, I'm going to stick with my main account. So that's something that you should keep in mind. And I'll show you guys how that works as well later in this video. So, yeah. Another thing to note is whether or not gacha is going to be the same every time, right? The answer to that is also no. And again, there's some people who are newer to the gacha games and are not maybe too familiar with exactly how gacha games work. But again, gacha is a lottery system. It's going to be basically random at every time, and the drops that you get are going to be completely random. So doing this and let's say restarting, let's say you don't like this account and you want to restart, by restarting and starting fresh all over again, you're not going to get the same cards over and over again. And you're not going to get the same cards that I'm going to be getting in this tutorial either. So, hopefully no one says this is like a fake video because maybe I get a 4-star here and you don't get it, but following the exact same steps that again, gacha is a completely luck-based system. It's a lottery, so that's something to keep in mind. And re-rolling is something that you could do not only in BanG, you could do it in many other gacha games as well. Genshin Impact, Fire Emblem Heroes, other rhythm games like B4DJ. So, again, re-rolling is something that is, relatively well known for a lot of reasons. So we're now done downloading the data, so let's move on to going through the next step here. If the game will load. NANI? Take 2. All right, it works now. Perfect. All right, so basically when you first log in, you'll get a login campaign, and I chose a particular day where there aren't too many stars of login campaigns. There's a 6 million Dreamfest or downloads login campaign, but nothing too special there. So all you have to do is you have to collect all your presents. There's going to be quite a few, so just keep that in mind. And there's going to be actually a second layer. And as you can see, you should have 3,150 stars after this login. So this is a little bit different from previous years because now, if you look at your presents actually, you get 2,500 stars for clearing the tutorial. Now if you check gacha, one gacha pull, which we will scroll down here, yep. So one gacha pull here, it costs 250 stars, and 10 plays is 2,500. And 10 plays is generally a lot more efficient in terms of time, and you also guarantee a 3-star. So, generally you want to just keep pulling 10 pulls, and try and get your sort of characters there. Now, at this time, at this moment, I could pull right now if I really want to. Do one pull and see if I get anyone good. Now, in the case that if you want more stars, you can follow the strategy that I showed in my previous guide, which is to go through the BanG story. So again, right now, you are able to access everyone's BanG story. So there's of course Seed Story 0, which was still in the same guide, and you can get each story gives you about 50 stars, and this has 27 chapters. So you could do the math. That's about 1,350 stars, so quite a decent amount. But if you notice, the story 1s for all of the bands are unlocked as well, and they each have 20 chapters. And if you do the math there, blah 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 blah, that should be 1,000. Yeah, should be 1,000. Yeah. So there's a lot more resources or places where you can get stars. Now, is it necessarily worth it? It depends, because doing this strategy of, clicking, checking the voice, and going through, and going through all the chapters like this, if you're really fast, it will take about an extra 3 to 4 minutes. So if you do the strategy and such, like over and over again, like that skip step right there, that strategy could take a bit of time. And also it would be already using up resources that could be your main account. So it's sort of like a gamble, or it's your decision on whether or not you decide to do that. So you already guaranteed one pull. If you want to grind a little bit more to do a second pull, you could certainly do that. In the case of, let's say, you're a little bit on the lazier side and you don't want to go through and just keep pressing skip, what you could do is you could press fast. So if you press fast, the text just goes through as quickly as possible, and you can just sit there and maybe get a second device and start re-rolling on that one too. So you could just let it sit there, and as it goes through, this will definitely take a lot longer. It'll take about 10-15 minutes to go through a whole band story. But if you want to do other things on the side while you just grind stars, that is an idea that you could do as well. And of course, you would click so that you read all unlocked stories, and it will just kind of go through the whole story. But I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to showcase gacha now. So again, compared to 2019, the going through the band stories is not as required. But if you want to go through them in order to maybe get more pulls and maybe try your luck further, it's up to you. So again, there are usually two different kinds of gachas that happen. There is the gacha that's on the current event. So 2 particular characters will be focused for 4 stars, and of course 4 stars is the main rarity. And there's also a sort of attribute type gacha. So this could be where a specific attribute, in this case happy, they'll be rate up. But again, the character you can actually get, it could be very random. Basically, it could be anyone. So it really depends. Either or, to be honest, is probably fine. But of course, if let's say you really want a particular character, like for instance this Kasumi or Yukina, I would definitely suggest pulling for this one, for instance. And also, one thing to note is that if there's a Dreamfest banner, 100% you should pull on that, because the drop rates are doubled in there. And there's also Dreamfest cards, which they have better skills, better art too, so you might as well go for it. So I'm just going to do 1 pen pull, and let's see how it goes. If it loads. That took a long time. So the pen lights here will actually indicate what kind of character you will get. White pen lights will indicate 2 stars. Yellow pen lights will indicate a 3-star, and then the rainbow light, as you can see here, that means you have a 4-star. So this is already obviously really good. Now, there will be some cases where you get a yellow pen light, but you get a 4-star anyway. That's a flip, but it's a very rare case. Generally, you'll only see 3 stars in that case. But here we have a 4-star, so let's see what we get. Oh. This is a really good pull. So I got 2 4-stars in 1 pull. That's crazy. This is the event, Kasumi. And this is just a Rinko on the side that might as well I get. That's great. So, this would be an example of would I reroll on this one? Probably not. This would be an instance where we have 2 4-stars, 1 3-star, just a really good start. So I would certainly keep an account like this. Now, there might be some other questions on what exactly is considered a good roll. Obviously, having more than 1 4-star is really good, but also if, let's say, you're more concerned about the scoring aspect, maybe you want to get more points in an event or more points in an actual live. Generally, if you look at the card skill, you will want to aim for skill levels that have score increased by 100%, 115%, 110%. Those are what we call scores, and they basically only focus on increasing score. This Rinko here is a life recovery, which is pretty good, but of course, as you can see, doesn't score as high. So that's something to keep in mind. But again, if you're a bit more casual, obviously I would just go for characters that you like, and 4 stars. The more 4 stars, the better. So, if you want to keep an account and maybe see if you want to roll again. So what you could do is you could go to data transfer, and then you could transfer via password. So what you could do is you can create a password, it'll give you a transfer ID, and you can copy that. So I'll be right back, I'll edit this out, and we'll show you the next steps. So if you want to access an account at any point, what you would do is you would go back to title. If let's say you let's say you have an account, maybe you're like not sure if you can keep it, you could always make that password, and then you could re-access it by clicking menu and data transfer, and then transfer via password. Game Center is again a little, it's iOS only, but I would recommend just transferring via password. It's just a lot easier. So if let's say you want to re-roll an account, maybe it's not something you want to start all over. For iOS, there's not really a fancy process. All you really have to do is leave the app and just delete the app, and then you re-download it from the App Store and you try again. If you have Android though, I would suggest watching a video in the description. I have a friend and he did a guide on how you could finick around with the game files. And in Android it's a lot easier. You don't have to delete the whole app. You just delete a certain game file and you reload the game again, and you'll be on a fresh state again, and you'll be able to re-roll once more. So this basically concludes this reroll guide. So hopefully this was a comprehensive video on many things when it comes to rerolling efficiency and also what to look for. So hopefully the next time when you start the game and you want to start off with the right footing, I hope this video helps you in that. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below or join my Discord. Links in the description, and I'd be very happy to help and assist you. Of course, if you like this video, consider giving me a thumbs up or subscribing to the channel. Support is greatly appreciated. But with that, I think we'll end off the video for today. Thank you all so much for watching. We will catch you all next time. Take care.